The world of electrified classic cars is growing almost day by day, and so we've come to Upper Heyford to see the guys at Everrati and specifically to see this. I'm Charlie Atkinson and welcome to EV Powered's review of the Porsche 911 964. Now, I know what you're thinking. This looks like a typical 911, but there's something a little bit different, and you're right. This is the wider model, and that's purely because it has these popped out wheel arches here, which look amazing, by the way, and a lot of the body's been stripped back and fitted with carbon fibre, so it's actually lighter than the original 911. But other than that, this car has retained the core DNA of what made this an absolute classic. So obviously this is a fully electric version of the 911 964, and so we need to talk about the technical specifications of it. And who better to do that than the man behind this project, Justin Lunny, the CEO of Everrati Cars.
So as you'll have experienced, it's a lot of fun, this car. So really what we're doing here is trying to ensure that petrol heads turn into motor heads and actually really start to enjoy an EV. This particular one has 500 horsepower, 500 newton meters of torque. 0 to 60 is well below 4 seconds. We're currently working on exactly how far below 4 we can get it, but really good fun. Top end is around 130, 135, but really this is all about having fun, a really engaging drive. It is the most analog of EVs that you'll probably ever drive, and is significant fun for a performance electric car. So we chose to do a fully wide turbo body version of the 964. We think it has a load of presence on the road. It looks stunning when it's either coming towards you or more likely pulling away from you. It is absolutely a beautiful thing. We've got carbon fibre front wings, carbon fibre bonnet. This is actually lighter than the original, and in fact the weight distribution is almost identical to the original. So there was one review recently saying it felt a bit more like a Cayman as opposed to a Porsche 911.
Now, obviously, this is a fully electric Porsche 911 964, so what about range and charging?
So one of the key things that we focus on is a very drivable and usable car. We don't overweigh a car, we don't over battery a car. We want to make it fun, we want to make it engaging. Therefore we've put CCS fast charging, so this car can charge from about 20% up to about 80-85% in under 45 minutes, so that makes it very usable. Range wise, we know it's north of 150 in normal driving conditions. We think we'd probably get to about 180 in if you're taking it easy, so actually very usable. Probably more of an A to A car, if I'm honest, something to go out for a blast in on a Saturday, Sunday morning, have a load of fun in, come back. And as with all EVs, if you've got charging at home, you can have it ready, full up again, ready for your next drive in the morning. The whole premise of Everrati is to create some of the world's most iconic electric cars. For me, this particular car is a stunning piece of engineering. It's, the Porsche itself is an evolutionary car in itself. And really what we've done is taken an original 1991 car and fully updated it, even though to the untrained eye it looks like a beautifully restored original. This happens to have fully adjustable electronic suspension as well, so again you can play with the setups on that. So a lot of fun, a lot of, I think for an EV, a lot will surprise people when they drive it.
Yeah. Now, usually in these reviews we'd cover a whole range of topics such as legroom and boot capacity, but there's no real point with a car like this, so we're going to skip straight to the point where I sit in the driver's seat and put my foot right to the floor. Okay, so now it's time to find out just how fast this thing goes. So, 3, 2, 1. Oh my god! Jesus! It's just unbelievable. This car is absolutely amazing. Whilst this car is unmistakably beautiful, incredibly fast and surprisingly practical, it's also an important piece of the puzzle when it comes to the mass adoption of electric vehicles. Here, Justin Lunny speaks about the inspiration behind this car and why cars like this are so important for the future.
The issues we have today around both carbon emissions and also around tailpipe emissions are not going to go away. The reality is people may judge us for taking a combustion engine out of this particular car, but in reality it makes it far more usable, far more reliable, and you can drive it pretty much anywhere you like. As an industry as a whole, we all know that by 2030 there will be drastically fewer combustion engine cars on the road, and in fact I think unfortunately for those people who love combustion engines, it will just become very, very, very hard to drive them in most places. Whether it becomes illegal or whether it just becomes expensive, time will tell. But in essence, I think this is the only way that we can really drive and enjoy these beautiful cars on the road. And I think generally speaking, you know, we've proven we can make them fun, engaging, probably more fun actually arguably than the originals, and we're all about performance and iconic cars. So as we know, what's iconic to a 20-year-old is probably very different to what's iconic for a 60-year-old, and we'll continue to work on and develop these beautiful cars for people to enjoy for many, many years to come.
So there we have it. What a car this fully electric Porsche 911 964 is, and it's a fantastic advert for the industry of converting classic cars over to electric. We're actually filming this review on my birthday, and honestly, I couldn't have wished for a better gift than getting behind the wheel of that.